I wrote the book because there are so many people in this world that have this idea that entrepreneurship is the best path. They're called to own their own business. They're called to be an entrepreneur. They believe that by being an entrepreneur, they are going to have more time freedom, that they are going to have more money, that they are going to have more control, that they are going to own something that they can eventually sell and retire with. And it's just not working out the way they thought. So I wrote this book for all of those hardworking men and women that are out there wanting to be change makers in their community, in their families, but they struggle because they can't find the right people. I wrote this book for them. I wrote this book for my dad. Today's episode, I'm doing something a little different, something a little special. It's my 2023 year in review. So much has happened this year. So much has changed. And it is so exciting, the path that we are on to impact the lives of so many people. I wanted to share with you some of the things that we're up to, some of the things that have happened, and what you can expect in the year to come. 2023 has been a challenging year. There were so many projects, so many new things that happened. And as I said before, they were incredibly exciting. So much foundation was laid this year for things to come. You know, one of the first things that happened, there was an opportunity for me to double the size of the team. And it happened almost overnight. And it was amazing how the opportunities were lined up. And I was able to connect with some amazing individuals, bring them on the team, and really help serve our customers more, serve you more. In fact, one of them is someone that is helping me produce so much more content, so much more education, be able to get so much more into your hands so that you can hire better people faster, so that you can retain people more quickly, so that you can have the business that you've always wanted, so you can grow the business the way you've always wanted. But with growth comes challenges. As you know, we work with people all over the country, in fact, all over the world, and helping them grow their teams. And with that growth comes new challenges, onboarding and training and saying no to some things. Sometimes it's so easy when you bring someone new on to say yes to everything. Yay, I got some help. And before you know it, they're buried and now you need more people. And so a lot of the stuff that we coach people through, we got to live ourselves this year. And there's nothing like experiencing that firsthand. But we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for our amazing clients, if it wasn't for the people that trust us to bring them through this process, to implement the CoreFit hiring system so that they can hire better people faster, so that they can build that team that they've always wanted, that dream team of people they can trust. This year was also a huge milestone for my family and for me personally. We moved across the country. It was the first time that I ever left Arizona, like moved out of Arizona in my life, and moved across the country to a place where we love spending time. We realized that life's too short to always just plan vacations to the places that we love to spend time. Why not live there? And it was a few clients actually that inspired me to do that, because they do the exact same thing. They made the decision, their business was going well, that they could go live where they play. And if you're listening to this right now and you find yourself always leaving home to go travel to a place that's super exciting for you, where your family just loves to spend time, I encourage you, I challenge you to consider that. Sometimes it makes more sense to live where you play and then visit the other areas that maybe you're not as excited about. So that was a huge opportunity for us. We took advantage of it and learned a ton in the process of how we can better streamline the work that we do so we can deliver a better service to all of our clients. That was a personal milestone for me, a professional milestone. If you don't already know, I kind of bragged about it, so you might already know. But if you don't already know, I had a book come out this year, and it took 2.5 years to write and publish that book. And I would say it took a lifetime to actually create it. I started writing that book 2.5 years ago because I had an idea that maybe if I wrote a book, it would help the business. And I got going with that and realized that there's a lot easier ways to grow the business. There's a lot easier ways to get this information in the hands of people. And it wasn't until probably the third or fourth draft of the book that I actually realized why I was writing it. And I had a friend of mine ask me just the other day, why did you write the book? He's like, so many entrepreneurs, so many business owners write a book because they want to use it as a calling card, as a way to grow their business. And yes, that is definitely a benefit of writing the book. But I will tell you that I could have done a lot of other things with thousands of hours and 2.5 years of my time than write a book to grow the business. I wrote the book because there are so many people in this world that have this idea that entrepreneurship is the best path. They're called to own their own business. They're called to be an entrepreneur. They believe that by being an entrepreneur, they are going to have more time freedom, that they are going to have more money, that they are going to have more control, that they are going to own something that they can eventually sell and retire with. And that was my dad. My dad was an owner-operator. He spent his entire career running this business. And his entire career, this business ran him. He didn't own the business owned him. And I know so many people out there like that, that had this vision of being an entrepreneur, and it's just not working out the way they thought. And the majority of the time, the reason it doesn't work out is because no one ever taught them how to build and grow a team of people they can trust to do the work. And that's the key. People you can trust. There's not a lot of training out there on the actual tactics, what you need to do. There's a lot of theory about unlimited paid time off and foosball tables, cereal bars, PlayStations at the office. But when you run a blue collar company and your people are out in the field and they're not in an office, it's a lot harder to do that kind of stuff. So I wrote this book for all of those hardworking men and women that are out there wanting to be change makers in their community, in their families, but they struggle because they can't find the right people. I wrote this book for them. I wrote this book for my dad. That's why I wrote this book. There's so many people that I talk to that tell me the story of why they got into business and what drove them early on. And often it was their family. And they wake up 15 years later, the kids are grown, they barely know their spouse, and they think this business took away from me the things that were most important. That's why I wrote this book, because those people need help. They need support. They need a new way of thinking and a new way of doing things. And after 2.5 years and countless edits and countless changing the way we present things, I'm really proud of this book. And I know it's going to change lives. And I know I've got to get it into as many entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs' hands as possible so they can hit the ground running, they can do it right from the beginning, and they can build the business that they own. So launching that book was an exhausting endeavor, to be frank. And I learned so much along the way, grew along the way, and just so glad that it is out there now. So here's my plug. It's out there on Amazon, any place you can buy a book online. We even have the audiobook available now. So pick up a copy and let me know. Let me know what impact it made in your life. And if you read the book and you're like, this stuff will never work, it's garbage, tell me that too. I need that feedback. But I know that the more people that read this book, the more people that embrace the concepts and ideas in there, the more lives we're going to change. And that is why I wrote that book. And the book was only part of it. I knew that if just having the book out there in the hands of entrepreneurs would only get so much done, I had to make sure that we were bringing more content, more education, more material to everyone, from free content and workshops to new tools, new downloads. There is so much that I have to share that I've been working on sharing with as many people as possible. So if you haven't been to my website lately, lots of great stuff to download, lots of great new tools. In fact, if you buy the book, there's 12 free bonuses that you can go download. All tools we use in the work we do. I don't hold anything back because I want to change lives. That's why we do this. As a result of that, I realized that one of the biggest places people get hung up is interviewing. It's one of the areas of recruiting that I'm most passionate about. But for some reason, it's a real struggle for a lot of people. So we launched new interview training, completely revamped the way we train, building the interview process, having the conversations, writing the questions, completely changed the whole thing. Made it entirely new, and very proud of it. And one of the things we did was we realized that not always is the owner going to be the one interviewing or the person that built the process. We've got to have training to help their hiring managers. Take the training off of the entrepreneur, put it into our hands, and we can train the hiring managers on how to have amazing, incredible conversations with future employees that set proper expectations so you can know exactly who you're hiring and not have to second guess yourself. We also offered some new services this year. Again, in an effort to put this in the hands of so many people, we had to rethink our strategy. How are we going to market? What changes do we need to make? How do we bring our costs down so we can bring our pricing down so we can put this information in the hands of so many more people? So we launched some new services this year. You can learn all about that on our website at corematters.com. And with those new services came a training website overhaul. So if you don't know, a big part of our process is to put your people through some systematic training that comes right out of the book, but we do deep dives in how to build these processes, how to get the information from your head to your heart to the paper so that you can share it with your team. And that required us to redo the website, to provide more support for you, to provide more training for you, to make it easier for us to grow and to scale the website. Like when I look back at 2023 and I think of all that has been accomplished, it was an amazing year. I don't know if you ever get stuck in this, what they call the gap, right? There's a book out there called Gap and Gain, and so many times we compare ourselves against the future state, the ideal that we want. And this is the concept in the book. And I might butcher it. I apologize. But the idea being that we always compare ourselves to where we want to be. And we fail to look back and say, hey, where did we come from? How much have we accomplished? And being in that gain, like where did I really gain this year? Not where am I falling short, but where did I really achieve the results that I set out to achieve? And like when I think about the fact that we were able to grow our team, launch new training, serve more clients at a higher level, bring new services to the market, launch a book, just get this in front of so many more people. And I moved my family across the country and all of that. What an amazing year. And don't think I forgot, because you're here, you're listening to this right now. The Talent Tackle Box launched this year too. Another way to bring more value. We restructured the way we bring guests on, the type of guests we bring on. We want to focus more on the people side of business because it's such a huge part of business. bringing in experts, bringing in leaders, bringing in people to have conversations that people don't always like to have. Introducing you to some amazing subject matter experts out there that can help you transform your business in all areas. So as I look forward to the next year and I think about my goals for the next year and what's coming, and I feel that we're really at a point now where we just need to continue down this path to get as much information into the hands of as many people as possible. I've got some new tool ideas. I've been in this little creative space for a while, and new ideas of ways to make things simpler, to make things easier, to maybe even retool some of our processes so that it makes it easier for you to train your people on them. I've got some new workshops coming up. We've got more content. We're going to be bringing some new amazing guests to the podcast. So stay tuned for all of it that is coming up. If you are not subscribed to be on our newsletter, we recently started sharing newsletter-only content, training and materials that you can't get anywhere else. Make sure you go to corematters.com. Make sure you get subscribed to be on our list. And if you've downloaded any of our content, if you've subscribed to the podcast through our website, you're already on our list and you're already getting our stuff. So continue to engage with us and give me feedback too. This is something that's really important to me going forward, is really hearing from you. I want to do more of what's valuable to you. I want to do more of what you feel is making the biggest impact. And the only way I can do that is if you tell me. Share your feedback on social media on one of our posts. Send me an email. Contact one of our coaches, someone else on the team. Let us know. Heck, even review the book for me on Amazon. I've got a personal goal to get up to 100 reviews by the end of 2024. And I know that everyone listening here can help me crush that. Reviews on Amazon for the book, and just help me crush that number, because the more reviews we get, the more Amazon goes, people like this book. I'm going to put this book in front of more people, which helps me achieve that goal of putting this information in the hands of so many people. 2023 has been an amazing year. And I can tell you, as I was trudging through some of it and being exhausted and beat up and burnt out, and in those moments saying, is it worth it? But now we come to the other end, it is absolutely worth it. And I can tell you right now, if you're in that situation in your business where you're really struggling, whether it's people, whether it's finances, whether it's market conditions, whether it's industry trends, competition, changes, whatever it is, whatever you're struggling with right now, it is worth pushing through and getting to the other side of it and looking back and going, wow, what an amazing year. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey, for following us and really just being a part of the community. Thank you so much for that. It has been such an honor to get to know so many of you and to engage with so many of you. And I am just so excited about what's to come. 2024, we're going to crush our goals there, and we're going to keep doing it. And we're going to transform the lives of so many business owners, so many business leaders, so many hiring managers, because we're building effective teams, because we're helping them embrace and retain those people to get the business that you've always dreamed of and that you deserve. Thank you again for an amazing 2023. Look forward to connecting with you in the year to come.